Next question from MBT Forum, D'Andre, is on laziness. I have a question on how to determine whether or not laziness is actually being lazy. I've been paying attention to my fears for about 3 years now, and I have felt progress emotionally. Emotionally wise, that's hyphenated. But things like making a living and keeping my family happy has only improved in relatively small amounts. I want to see more progress in these areas. Should I put a bit more energy into such things, or should I preferably trust the LCS with the guidance of my life in the beneficial direction while I focus on lowering my entropy? Should I read that again?
No, I think I got that.
Okay.
Well, it depends. You know, what makes one person's, you know, might seem like they're being lazy, but they may not be. They may be just collecting data. They may be just in the process of processing data already collected, trying to make sense of it or grow from it. I guess laziness is when you don't do things that you need to be doing to grow, you know, because you just don't feel like it. Maybe that's how we're going to define laziness here. I don't know, but I would say that if you feel that your relationships and your family and other things could be better, you should try to see why. What could you do to make them better? Okay, how could you react and how could you be in such ways that would make them all better? And if the only answer that comes back to you is, well, what I'm doing is just perfect, it's just them, you know, they need to get better. Well, then that definitely tells you that you have some growing yet to do, because the only person you can change is yourself. And that may be the case, that they need to change. And maybe in that case, maybe you're doing it the best you can. And you just have to accept them the way they are. I'd say the key idea here, it's not, we can't come up with one answer that fits all cases. You know, it's a matter of the intent, not the matter of the action or what's going on. So one person's lazy may not be lazy at all for, you know, with a different intent. So it's not the doing that makes one lazy or not lazy, it's the intention that does. So let's put it this way. If during the day you have no negative feelings, you never feel anxious or annoyed or upset or angry or unappreciated or any of those other, you know, unhappy, any of those negative things. You just don't feel any negative things. You're feeling very positive about everything. You're happy, you're enjoying your life. And if that's the case, then you're probably doing really well. And you could just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to change anything. Just keep doing it, keep learning, keep observing, and keep being useful. Because you must be doing all of those things, otherwise you wouldn't feel that good. Okay, but if you feel these negative things, then you know that there are issues there that you need to resolve, that you have ego, that you have fear, that you have beliefs, and those things are causing this negativity in your life. They're causing you to feel unhappy, you know, all the negative stuff that goes with it. You feel that way. So then you'd have to find those fears and try to work on them and get rid of them to where you don't have any of those negative feelings. So I think that would be the thing to look at. Look at your feelings. Are they full of joy and peace and tranquility and satisfaction? Or is it full of stress and struggle and you know, putting up with things that you don't like putting up with, doing things that you don't like doing? You know, all of that is negative. So if your life is primarily positive, keep on doing it. You're doing great. If your life is negative, then you've got things to learn and things to work on. Okay, and it's not about somebody else. It's not about somebody else. I wouldn't be negative, but somebody else makes me that way. That is not a valid excuse. Other people can be however other people are, and other people can be negative. But that doesn't mean that you have to be negative. You have the choice to how you react to things. So if you're reacting in a negative way, that's your responsibility. You can't blame that on other people. So that's the simple test. Is my life positive and full of joy and peace, tranquility, and satisfaction, or is it not? If it's not, then you need to get to work. Start being more proactive at finding your fears and getting rid of them.
All right, thank you, Tom. I hope that answered your question, Andre.